Hello everybody, I'm going to be showing you a very quick tutorial on how to use RBXMX pixelMapper. So first, let's just download the code. You can sift through it if you want to look at it, but we're just going to download it and we are going to unzip it. Okay, so within these folders, you'll see that there's images, and that's just for the tutorial. There's the Python, and if you're on Windows, I know that this exe works for me. I don't know if it works on Mac or Linux. Here's the icon to create the little icon for this image, and here's the Python script. If you want to see how the Python script works, you can open it up in Visual Code or whatever you prefer. Inside the Roblox folder is the pixelMapper Lua file if you want to create the Lua file yourself or just look at it on a browser. And the README has a tutorial that if you want to look at the text, you can follow. But what we're going to do is we're just going to jump straight into a template, and we're going to choose village because village has like different hills and like wide variety of things going on here. There's some water, stone, different things like that. And if you look at the README, or I'll leave a link in the description, you can actually get the Roblox model of the Lua file, which is actually a module script. And we're going to be just leaving this in the workspace. So this area block right here is basically what you're going to use to engulf the whole region that you want to create like a pixelated image of. And we're just going to try to make this cover everything. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. This is just an example. So let's just say that we want to encompass this whole area. I think there's a little bit too much on that side. Okay, so now that we have the whole area that we want, this region will be having rays casted straight down, and it will go as far down as this block goes. So if you don't make it go all the way down into a hole that you want to map, then it won't get all of it. There will just be some transparent blocks if it doesn't hit anything. So now in the command line, we're going to require this module. And to do that, we'll just do workspace.pixelMapper, and we're actually going to clone it just in case if you want to make any changes inside of here between your runs. If you clone it, then it'll just create a new instance of that each time. But if you know what you're doing, then you don't have to do that. Then for set resolution, this is how many data points we'll get evenly spread, like 100 in this direction will be evenly spread, and then 100 in this direction will be evenly spread, and then basically fill in everywhere in between as a simple grid. So the higher number, the more like intense this is going to be on Roblox Studio. So if your computer is slower, then don't do a crazy high number. I'd like to basically do like a max of like 500 by 500, or sometimes I might even do 1,000 by 1,000. And you know, it really just depends on how much data you want to get in the area that you choose. And if you have a bigger map, then you'll probably want a bigger number, but you might want to split this into several different processes. And then if we do mapper.export map, this will export a folder into the workspace over here. So we can also pass true through here, and this will automatically apply a height map, and we can set the range of values that it will add to the V value, so basically like the lightness, darkness to the color. Now if this is too big, it could make some colors just basically go straight to black, and if it's too large, like it could also make things get way too bright. So you can fiddle around with that, or if you want, you can not put anything in here, and then you could do mapper.export, I believe it's height map. So we'll just do both of these at the same time, and we'll see what happens. I'm actually going to bump this up a little bit to 500 by 500, and I pressed enter, and now it's going to do a little bit of work because this is 500 by 500, so it might take a little bit of time. Okay, so it's been about maybe like 15 to 20 seconds, and I now have my height map data and I have my map data. And what we're going to do is we're going to save this to file, and we're going to go into the folder that we just got from the GitHub. And let's just save this straight into the Python, and make sure you choose RBXMX. It's the Roblox XML model file. And we are going to just name this something without spaces. So this one's the map data. Let's just name it map data. And then this one right here is also the height map. And then we'll name this height map. And you know what, just to show you how it works with the default height map, I'm just gonna type in true, and then this will default to 0.6, but I'll just show you how it defaults to 0.6. And again, this is going to take some time because we are cloning this every single time. It's not keeping the data from the last run. So if you know what you're doing, you can keep the data from the last run. Again, if you know what you're doing. But this already exported, so I am going to save this to a file. And again, .rbxmx, and then I'm going to name this map data with height map. Okay, now we're going to open up that folder. So now you can see that we have the heightmap.rbxmx, we have the mapdata.rbxmx, and then we have the map data with heightmap.rbxmx. And we can run this several different ways. If you can use the .exe, that is the easiest. But this is an unsigned file, like it's not like certified or whatever, because I just made it with PyInstaller. So your antivirus might think that it's a virus. If you're comfortable with running it anyways, then you can tell your antivirus to just ignore it and just let you run it. But if you're not comfortable with that and you do have Python on your computer, you can run it with Python, and I will show you both ways to do that. So since this one is the longest name and I'm lazy, I'm just going to drag that onto the exe. Okay, and then it says Windows Defender Smart Screen, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm just going to press more info and then press run anyways. And then Norton is giving this one a problem, and I'm going to run this program anyways. So since we set the default resolution in the in Studio to 500 by 500, we can just have it that way. But if you want to make it larger, this won't get you any extra like data of like how high or low certain parts are in the map, because we already got that. This will just make the image larger. We can enter it in Y for yes, and then set it to 1000 by 1000. And then you can see that we have our two images now. I will show you what those look like in just a second. I just want to show you real quick how to do the Python one. So if I just say Python pixelMapper.py and then the file name, so we'll do heightmap.rbxmx, and let's just say I don't want to resize this one, and then we can also do mapdata.rbxmx, and let's just say I don't want to resize that one. So now we have the heightmap.png, we have the mapdata.png, and then we have the heightmap, or mapdata with heightmap.png, and then we also have the resized. So this is what the height map looks like. You can see the high and low regions of the different areas on the map. And then we can see the regular map data. So this is what our map looks like now, without the height map. And then the default height map, the combination algorithm that I have, gets us something like this. So it turned, let's just get rid of this module. It turned this world right here into this. And I do have this upside down. So you got this. And then if you use this on like smaller regions and have like higher resolution, then you can get even more detailed outcomes. But that's how that went. And the reason why, say, like this region showed up as gray is because this block is set to gray. So if you have things like that happening and like everything in that area is one big color, but it's like using something such as like a particle emitter, then you can just change that part's color. So that is how you use the RBXMX pixel mapper. And if you have any questions, please let me know.